This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's number one show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks are finally back in action after being off for about a week. And they're going to try to make this push. But before we even get to that, we got some news to discuss. I got my man Big Bubba in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Derrick Rose will undergo a minor procedure on his right ankle today. A timeline for his return has not yet been set. This was tweeted out by the New York Knicks PR team. He just got back to practice. And now he's gone again, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it really has to do with if the Knicks were really in the middle of the playoff race, I think Derrick Rose would probably be able to go. I think it really has to do with Leon Rose and the team taking players off the board so that Tom Thibodeau has to play Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, etc., etc. I think that's what it has to do. You know what I mean? That's what I think it's about. Anyway, Big Bubba, what's popping, man? Your thoughts right now on Derrick Rose undergoing another surgery.
Another surgery, man. First and foremost, man, I just spread out to Derrick Rose, man. This guy, he just really, really can't catch a break, man. But I will say this, though, Sim, it doesn't make sense, and I do agree with you that I do think the Knicks are just moving play pieces out of the way for Tom Thibodeau, because you said it a couple of shows ago. You said that for Thibs to play some of the young guys, you got to remove some of these pieces for him so that he's forced to play some of these young guys. Again, right? You got to just think about this for 2 seconds. He's been out for almost 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
He's been out for 3 months. And now, like the day of, we figure out that he needs, or they probably found out last month, but they found out now that he needs another minor surgery to remove some other stuff or to clean something up. I think there's a correlation to these guys want to play the young guys and Derrick Rose going out. So This is one heck of a way to do it. But
but that's how you do it. You got to find a way to take guys off the board because, like I was talking about the other day, when you're talking about building the culture of your team and having standards that you set, then you're gonna play your best guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do? You take your best guys off the board, or who the coach believes is the best guys off the board. Kemba, I'm not saying he was one of the best guys, but obviously Coach Thibodeau was going to continue to start him. He shuts it down. You take him off the board. Derrick Rose, right? You know what Derrick Rose was going to come back and get 30 minutes a game.
Oh, 100%. So he was going to get 40 minutes tonight.
Right. What happens? You take him off the board. You know what I mean? And Tom Thibodeau, I'm sure, understands, okay, we take these guys off the board. Now I'm going to make sure I play Quentin Grimes. I'm going to play Cam Reddish. So if Derrick Rose, you look, there's only 23 games left. I don't know what kind of procedure this is. But if he's off the board for the remainder of the season, Cam Reddish is going to play.
So there's 20 games left for the Knicks?
23 games left for the remainder of the season.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose is going to play. Cam Reddish is going to play. Cam Reddish is going to play. You know what I mean? So that's what you do. You're taking these guys off the board. And now you talk about Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin, and that second unit. You see what I'm saying?
Can't get younger than that.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And then depending on whether or not R.J. Barrett goes today, he's questionable on the injury report. Depending on whether or not he goes, Quentin Grimes would be in that starting unit, and then hopefully Miles McBride will get burned tonight. You dig what I'm saying? So, that's how you do it. And you still are able to say, hey, we're going to push for this play-in, but you're pushing with young guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. And you prepare and you fight and you battle. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. But anyway, Derrick Rose, ladies and gentlemen, he will undergo a minor procedure on his right ankle today. and a timeline for his return has not yet been set. I would think that they would monitor the way the season is going, and either way, if the Knicks find themselves in playing position, maybe he comes back towards the end to try to give him the boost to get over the top. Or if they're just out of it, maybe he comes back to play the last couple of games just so he can get himself in shape. You know what I mean?
Well,
Test his ankle out, do some things like that. Who knows?
So what's our record? 25 and 34?
25 and 34. 9 games below 5.
I mean, if
9 games below 500.
Okay, so if I'm the Knicks GM, if I'm Leon, right, or if I'm Scott Perry and Leon, I'm giving the Knicks. So the best case scenario right now, if you're being realistic, your best is to go 500, right?
To make it to 500, that's going to be tough, I think.
Yeah, no. So, but I'm saying if I'm the Knicks, I'm thinking best case scenario, we could be 500. Best case, if everything goes right for us,
right.
If we win a couple games, and since we have 34 losses already, and let me see, 34, 6, 42, what's that? 8, 34 plus 8 is 42, I think.
Huh? Yeah.
Hey, look at me, gold star. I would say that I would give you 8 games to get to that 42 mark. I think
the hard part is this. You got Charlotte, who they're 1-9 in their last 10 games. You got the Washington Wizards, who they're on a downslide, and Bradley Beal's not playing for the remainder of the season. Obviously, they just got Kristaps Porzingis. So they're probably looking at those teams. They're probably looking at those teams and saying, all right, they continue to slide. Maybe we slip in there. If I'm the Knicks, if I'm Leon Rose, I'm looking at the next 4 games.
Next 4?
Me, yeah. If I don't go 500 in these next 4 games against Miami, Philadelphia, and Phoenix, then I'm kind of like, if you lose all 4 of these games, you're 13 games below 500.
You might as well, you might as well hang it up.
You lose all
it's funny,
4,
I'm going to the Philly game too, by the way.
Oh, okay. All right.
And tell Sol to shut up.
Yeah, they bugging out. But yeah, you lose all 4 games, you might as well hang it up.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I do agree with you. Yeah, if you definitely lose these 4 games, and like you said, you're 12 games under 500?
13. You lose these right now. The Knicks are 9 games below 500. You lose these 4 games, you're 13 games below 500. You might as well hang it up.
Yeah, you might as well.
Might as well hang it up. Anyway, tonight's game, the Knicks play the Miami Heat tonight. And excuse my dogs in the background. Sorry about that. All right, but they play the Miami Heat tonight. Let's take a look at the injury report. And Derrick Rose was once doubtful. Now he's just out. All right, so you don't have to worry about that on your screen. RJ Barrett is questionable. Nerlens Noel is questionable. And Kemba Walker is not with the team. And Derrick Rose, again, he's out. Any thoughts about RJ Barrett? Do you think RJ Barrett's going to play tonight?
I think RJ Barrett's going to get a go-ahead. I think they're going to play. I think he's been real rested. I think he should be back tonight. Because if you're going to make a push, then you got to have something. And since the resurgence of Julius Randle has been playing a little bit better, I think adding RJ, hopefully RJ, there's one thing I hate him. When a guy's playing well, he gets injured. This feel like sometimes he loses the momentum, but if RJ could come out and help us out, man, you got to do something. So I think he's gonna play tonight.
Yeah, he might. It's gonna depend on how his ankle feels. You know what I mean? You would hope that it's feeling good. I know he said his body's maybe a little bit sore because he hadn't been in action. He's just getting back. I know he wants to get out there. I'd like to see him out there. To try to make, if the Knicks are going to try to make a play-in push, you're going to need RJ Barrett to be out there. For the Miami Heat, Victor Oladipo, he's out.
He's been out the whole year, right?
He's out. He's been out the entire year. Yep. Those guys are out. Again, Markieff Morris and Victor Oladipo are both out for the Miami Heat. Looking at your projected starting lineups, like it or not, ladies and gentlemen, Alec Burks is going to be your starting point guard. Don't get mad. Don't scream at me. Alec Burks, your starting point guard for the New York Knicks. Then you got Evan Fournier at shooting guard. At small forward is either R.J. Barrett or Quentin Grimes. It depends on whether or not R.J. Barrett is healthy enough to go. Then Julius Randle at power forward. Mitchell Robinson at the center spot. For the Miami Heat, you got Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, P.J. Tucker, and Bam Adebayo. And then they got a strong bench as well. All right, so let's start breaking it down. Alec Burks, Kyle Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
Give me your thought process, man. I'm going to open up the phone lines, too.
Yes, Kyle Lowry's going to win this one. He's a real point guard. I mean, he's Kyle Lowry. Not much to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, he may not win it statistically, depending on how Alec Burks plays.
But he's going to do all the, he does what?
He's going to do the things that he needs to do to make sure the team is running. And I don't think it's his role anymore to be, one of your primary or the primary scorer on your team. Obviously not for this team. And I think he understands that and has probably settled into being, one of the secondary players out there on the floor, which he's been in his career. So it's not like it's new to him. You know what I mean? And, he can just be a guy that runs the ship. Still get you buckets, when you need him to, and still play tough defense. You know what I mean? That's why I liked Kyle Lowry for this team, but obviously it didn't happen.
Yeah, it would have been great to have Kyle Lowry, man. I think I'm not gonna lie to him. I think I was more leaning on the side of not picking him up because I thought he was older, and I thought we could have maybe got the only old point guard I really wanted him was Chris Paul, but clearly that didn't happen. Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But I gotta go real quick.
All right.
I'm not leaving. I got a customer.
All right, go ahead. Do you think? But yes, ladies and gentlemen, Alec Burks and Kyle Lowry. As I'm gonna take Isaiah off the board. See, sometimes you got to take people off the board in order to get what you need. Then you got Evan Fournier and Duncan Robinson. Look, Duncan Robinson hasn't had the season that maybe his contract says he should have, but Duncan Robinson, he can light it up when he gets hot. He can do a lot of things. He's like maybe a younger Evan Fournier, but more athletic, probably a better shooter, a little bit scarier when he does get hot. And I'm not saying that he's all world, but a little scarier when he does get hot. He's one of those guys that can catch the ball on his toes, have it on the tip of his fingers, and let it go. You know what I'm saying? You really got to pay attention to Duncan Robinson in the way that the Knicks play this team because, of course, the New York Knicks are a team that throughout the season have given up threes. Right? And teams have been able to get hot from the three-point line. Duncan Robinson is one of those guys. He's 6'7", 215, 12 points a game, 3 rebounds a game, and he can get hot. He can get hot, shooting 36.4% from the three-point line this year. I like the way that Evan Fournier has been playing for the New York Knicks, though. As far as matchups are concerned, one against the other, I'm going to go with Evan Fournier in this matchup, just because when you look at who the Miami Heat have in their lineup, Duncan Robinson may be, your third option or something like that. Then you got R.J. Barrett and Quentin Grimes versus Jimmy Butler. And not Quentin Grimes, but Quentin Grimes. If R.J. Barrett is starting, he'll be going up against Jimmy Butler. Obviously, you got to get that matchup to Jimmy Butler. All right, but R.J. Barrett, before he went out, was playing good basketball. Quentin Grimes is playing good defense. If anything, Quentin Grimes could maybe make it tough on Jimmy Butler if Quentin Grimes has to start. If R.J. Barrett is starting, then R.J. Barrett can at least make Jimmy Butler have to play some defense. All right, but I really do like it when R.J. Barrett goes up against Jimmy Butler because it's always a learning experience for R.J. Barrett. He can go up against a guy who came up under Tom Thibodeau, understands what R.J. Barrett is going through right now, understands the demands that Tom Thibodeau has on a player like R.J. Barrett. So anytime those two can get in a room together, Jimmy Butler can impart a little bit of wisdom on R.J. Barrett. It may not happen during the game, but maybe before the game, maybe after the game. And you've seen a couple years ago, last year actually, it happened during the game, you know? So I like when R.J. Barrett goes up against guys like Jimmy Butler because he gets to test himself, gets to test his skills, and, that's going to help him grow. Now, might be a little bit tough for R.J. Barrett just coming back from being injured. Now no one's played in a week or so, but R.J. Barrett was out for a few games before that break. So he may be a little winded when he first comes back into the game. Everybody might be a little winded when they first come back. So R.J. Barrett should be okay. I'm giving that matchup to Jimmy Butler, but if R.J. Barrett plays, I expect him to play well. Julius Randle and P.J. Tucker. Ladies and gentlemen, Julius Randle should win this matchup, but a guy like P.J. Tucker, I don't like when Julius Randle has to go up against guys like P.J. Tucker because he's small. He can get up underneath Julius Randle, and he's also strong. So it's not like Julius Randle can just bowl the guy over. You know what I mean? P.J. Tucker can handle his own, and he can knock down threes. You remember the last time we played him, P.J. Tucker kept getting free from the three-point line. All right, Julius Randle's going to have to be on his P's and Q's, not let P.J. Tucker get free from the three-point line, but also not be afraid to go to the cup. All right, P.J. Tucker is strong, but go to the cup on P.J. Tucker. Don't just try to shoot over top of him because you're taller than him. Go to the cup. Keep playing fast basketball the way that you've been playing. Catch the ball, make a decision, and go. But I don't like the matchup. I'm giving the matchup to Julius Randle, but I don't like the matchup because of, P.J. Tucker is strong. He's small. He can get up underneath Julius Randle. And I feel like he can, he can give Julius Randle some problems. You know what I mean? And we got Big Bubba back in the building as he adjusts himself and get, in the middle of the screen. Still got to go over a little bit. There you go. Your thoughts, Big Bubba, on Julius Randle, P.J. Tucker? I can't hear you. You got yourself muted. Something. Maybe it's your microphone or whatever it is. Nope, can't hear you. So you might need to get readjusted because we can't hear you at all. He'll be back. But that's my thoughts on Julius Randle, P.J. Tucker, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what Big Bubba thinks when and if he makes it back in. Then you got Mitchell Robinson and Bam Adebayo. First of all, let me send some love out to Mitch. Let him know that, his family is in my thoughts. We all know that he's going through something on his family side where, his father's missing and they're looking for him. You know what I mean? And I know that's got to be tough. I can't relate. I've never had that happen. I can only imagine that it's got to be tough. You know what I'm saying? And could it affect you playing basketball? Without any doubt, it could affect you playing basketball. Oh, his father's returned. Thank goodness. I'm glad to see that. Chick George, Noel Nordval said his father returned. Thank you. I'm glad. Thank you for pointing that out to me. I didn't see that. I don't know when it happened. I didn't see it, but thank goodness his father had returned because, I know that would have been wearing on me. And if it were me, I probably wouldn't have played tonight. I'd be like, forget that. I need to focus on this. But thank goodness that his father has been returned, or his father came home, or they found him, or whatever happened. So big shout out to Mitchell Robinson for that.
You can hear me now, son?
Yeah, I can hear you. A little bit of a delay or something, but I can hear you.
Yeah, Sim, I'm not gonna lie. I'm so happy to find out that Mitchell Robinson's father was found. I was praying for that dude, man. I'm like, this can't. I was like, I didn't know how he could play. I wouldn't have played. I agree with you. I would not have played if my father was missing. I would have been having every resource in the world. Because stuff like that's scary, man. Listen, Sim, we don't know what happened, but listen, when people know you got money, Sim, people do crazy things, man.
People do crazy stuff.
But thank God his father's safe and he's good, man.
Yeah, thankfully. That's just great to know. But Mitchell Robinson and Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, let's get it. Ooh.
Yeah, talk to me about that matchup. What you think about it?
Oh man, I'm gonna start to go with Bam. Bam is to me one of the most ideal centers, not named Embiid or Jokic in the league. It's probably no. I think Joker and Embiid are tier A. I think Bam is tier B when it comes to centers. He can just do it all, and I'm gonna give the advantage to Bam.
Yeah, he can definitely do it all. He can handle the ball a little bit. He can go inside. He can post up, knock down the mid range. It's a tough matchup for Mitchell Robinson as far as having to defend the perimeter, and Bam Adebayo can also pass the basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough matchup for Mitch. I want Mitch to just do what he does. Obviously, that's what he's going to do. I want to see him grab 10 to 12 rebounds today. Get his 10 to 12 points, block shots, and just try to make it tough on Bam.
Yeah, because I think with Mitch, some people still have a little bit of still Hennessy for Mitch because they're waiting for him to do it against a premier matchup. They're waiting for him to get his numbers against a premier matchup.
Right.
So I mean, this one, hey man, he has the length. He has the length and he has the tallness.
Yeah,
over,
I think he can defend Bam. Here's where it's tough. Bam is, he's got a good basketball IQ, and the way that Miami plays basketball, it really does. It gives him an advantage because he can pass the ball, and so you can get a guy like Kyle Lowry passing the ball, Jimmy Butler. You can go to Bam, who can pass from the post area or even pass from the perimeter area. That's what makes this team so tough to defend, right? Because they have guys that can pass the ball from all over the floor. You know what I mean? So it makes it real tough to defend. All you can ask for Mitch is to stay on him when he's out on the perimeter, battle him when he's down in the post, make him have to move and change shots, and then do your end on the rebounding side. You know what I mean? Because I think that's going to be key for the Knicks tonight, especially offensive rebounds. I'm not expecting the Knicks to shoot a great percentage from the field. They haven't done it all season long. You know what I mean? So those offensive rebounds are going to be key. You don't want the Miami Heat to dominate the glass on you. The Knicks need to win that rebounding battle, but that's another story. We'll go back and we'll talk about those keys to the game in a little bit. All right, but when you're looking at these matchups, and then you got the bench, right? The Miami Heat have, they got some guys on the bench that can obviously light it up. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking at the Knicks bench tonight, you're gonna be looking at Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin. Nerlens Noel is questionable.
Man.
Right? So,
it's about. Look. So what's funny, Sam? I think the Knicks hasn't been so bad that we haven't even got to really talk about Noel's. But that's oh god, that's been probably low key the worst signing of them all.
Yeah. I don't know. Nerlens Noel, it's been tough, but. So we'll see what Tom Thibodeau decides to do. Is he going to play Taj Gibson or is he going to play Jericho Sims? I'm thinking he probably goes ahead and plays Taj Gibson, you know what I mean, and instead of Jericho Sims. People are going to be mad about it without a doubt, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think so with this one, it's tough for me because who do you play more? Do you play Jericho Sims or do you play Taj? I might have to lean with Taj with this one thing just because of the IQ and just I don't know. Taj is like a Miami player in a weird way.
Yeah.
Taj is a Miami player, so I'd rather have Taj out there right now just for this game. Me personally, I still want more Jericho Sims, but I would go with that one. But to me, Sim, it's that Tyler Hero, man.
Yeah,
that dude,
man.
I mean, we're talking about possibly the 6th man of the year, and this dude has just been cooking he basically a starter because he gets starter minutes. But yeah, man, this dude
still
quickly.
Right, but he's still coming off the bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's adding 20 points to their bench output
By himself.
Yeah,
so
you know what
I
I'm
mean, if I'm the Knicks, man, quickly. I mean, personally, I probably put Grimes on him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put Grimes on him, and this because you're gonna have him in. Is Duncan Robinson in that second unit too?
No, Duncan Robinson is start.
Oh, Duncan. Okay, so yeah, man. If I'm on the Knicks, man, I would probably try to confuse him a little bit too, Sam, with quickly and Grimes. You know, just because I don't think he's a strong dribbler, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he's a strong dribbler.
No, man. I don't know. That guy can ball. That guy can ball.
He can.
I mean, the thing is, off the bench, I don't think we have anybody that can match up with Tyler Hero. You know, stat.
No.
You know what I mean? But overall, I think we could have a stronger bench unit. Manuel quickly. Quentin Grimes. It's going to depend on if Quentin Grimes is starting or not, if RJ Barrett is playing. Cam Reddish. I mean, you're looking at Gabe Vincent, Max Struss, Yurtseven. You know, those, I mean, they're guys that can play basketball, but I think the Knicks could have a stronger bench. If Derrick Rose was there, obviously they have a stronger bench because he could match up with Tyler Hero for stat output than everybody else. You know, what makes their bench stronger is Tyler Hero.
Yes, that's really
that's what makes their bench stronger, though. We don't have anyone that can match up with Tyler Hero. Everybody else on the Knicks is going to be either up or down. You don't know what you're going to get. You might not get anything from any of them. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's the sad part.
You know what I'm saying? So Tyler Hero really does make their bench stronger, in my opinion.
Well, Sam, you know what it was? That's how it was for pretty much the Knicks last year with Derrick Rose.
Yeah, that's true. Right. That's true. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the team comparison. This is the season. This is not the last game. This is just for the season. You know, the last game, both teams had players injured, this and that. The Knicks still have players injured, but this is pretty much going to be the team that the Knicks rock with for the remainder of the season. So we're looking at the season numbers. The Knicks, they're averaging 105.1 points per game, 46 rebounds a game, 21.5 assists, 6.9 steals, 5.1 blocks, just about 13 turnovers a game, shooting 43% from the field and 35% from three and 75% from the free throw line. The Miami Heat, averaging 109 points per game, about 45 rebounds a game, 26 assists per game, 7.5 steals, 3.2 blocks, about 14 turnovers per game. They shoot 46% from the field and 37% from three while shooting 81.2% from the free throw line. And there's really the big difference for me between these two teams, the field goal percentage. The Miami Heat, 46% from the field, 37% from three, and 81% from the free throw line. The New York Knicks, 43% from the field, 35% from three, and 75% from the free throw line. There's the difference right there. There's the difference between these two teams. They can knock down shots, the Knicks can't.
It's a make and miss league, right?
Yeah. You know?
But I mean, again, right, it's just the free throws it always bothers me, Sam. It always bothers me with this team. This team has been getting killed with the free throws, and just, you know, Miami, man, they got them shooters, and they got guys. They got guys. Even if Jimmy Butler isn't particularly the best kind of shooter, they still got so many guys around him. You still got Kyle Lowry, that's high efficiency shooter, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, all these guys. Mm-hmm. It balances them out. Even Bam, I think, I think Bam is a good free throw shooter. I think Bam shoots like 85% or something around that.
I'd have to check. I'm not sure. I have to check. But, you know, they're a good free throw shooting team overall, you know, and when you look at like the assist totals, they average 26 assists. The Knicks average 21.5, but that relates directly to their field goal percentage. You know, 46%, 37%. The Knicks, 43% from the field, 35% from three. Obviously, your assist totals, your assist averages are going to be lower. You know what I mean? And part of it is just the way that they play basketball. They're an intelligent basketball team, and that's why they're number 2 in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, and also, too, I mean, a big factor is, I mean, it's being a dead horse, son, but we don't have a point guard. And this is what happens when you play.
We know.
I mean,
and you got two of them sitting out.
Oh man, and it is crazy because it's like, you're playing Alex Burks as point guard. This is your best option. I mean, and to even be fair, even if it was Quickly still to me isn't really. There's been a lot of plays this year when he's been playing the point guard position where he's missed like some very like, if you had a basic true point guard, they'll make those passes. I feel like when it comes to that position, we have so many guys that are just, we got a lot of shooting guys, basically shooting guards at the point guard position trying to be point.
Right.
And it's tough.
We don't have one of those kind of guards. Even in Derrick Rose and
yeah, but say Derrick Rose wasn't even Derrick Rose wasn't even here to be a point guard. He was here to score.
Either one of those guys, they're not that kind of guard. And maybe that's not what Tom Thibodeau wants. I don't know. But either way, the Knicks don't have him out there. Looking at keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen. One, if the Knicks really want to try to make a push for that play-in, which you all know that they do. We all know that they do. And I want them to make a push. And if they're making a push with the young guys, cool. But I want them to make a push. I want them to try. But they've got to have a focused mentality. Got to be focused, especially playing against the Miami Heat. They got to come out focused. We know the kind of offense that the Miami Heat play. They move the basketball. They can shoot. All right. They're very intelligent. So you've got to have great communication. Your rotations on defense got to be on point because they will go back door. They will hit the cutter. They're going to knock down the three. They shoot 37% from the three for the season. All right. So the Knicks got to be on point defensively with their communications and with their rotations. Rebound the basketball. This is also a team that can run if you give them a chance. All right, so if you don't grab offensive rebounds, they might get out and run. And I think the Knicks, it's going to be necessary. When you're shooting 43% from the field, it's necessary that you can grab some offensive rebounds. That's what makes Mitchell Robinson so important to this team because he can grab offensive rebounds, and he gives the Knicks a chance. I don't know how many times, how many games he has saved the possession by grabbing an offensive rebound, dunking it back home. The Knicks got to come out strong on the glass, win the rebound and battle. Don't give the Miami Heat second chances. The Knicks got to take care of the ball and play with pace, right? When you play with a higher pace, whether that be because you're in transition or you're moving the ball in the half court, but you're moving it faster, there's a higher chance that you can turn the ball over. That's just what happens when you move the ball a little bit faster. It's, better chance of turning the ball over. But the Knicks got to take care of the ball. The Miami Heat, they can play defense. They like to get deflections. All right, they're going to get their fingertips on basketballs. You got to make sure that you're taking care of the ball because those deflections, so many people discount deflections and what they do. You know what they do? They disrupt the offense. Maybe you don't get the steal on a deflection, but they disrupt what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? And they allow, if I came off of a screen free, but Isaiah got the deflection on the pass to me, now it allows my defender to catch up. Those deflections are important. And Miami is one of those teams that can get their hands in the passing lanes and, get their fingers on a lot of basketballs. And then late game execution. Hopefully we're fortunate enough to get to the late game and be in it. But the Knicks got to have late game execution, and you haven't seen it as of late. I mean, obviously there's been games where the Knicks shouldn't have been in a late game situation because they were up 28 points. But the Knicks got to have that late game execution. They've been terrible all season long in late game execution. I'm not expecting a whole lot to change, but I'm hoping that it could change. You know what I mean? They can get that late game execution. Maybe they can give themselves a chance down the stretch of this season to make a run at the play-in. Isaiah, any thoughts, any keys to the game that you want to add?
Yeah, so my key to the game, Sim, is that I agree with you.
Of course you agree with me. I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, man. So my key to the game, Sim, I want this is the mental, Sim. For me, one of the big keys. We haven't beaten the Miami Heat in over almost 2 years. And stuff like that really weighs on you. And when the team knows they have your number, I mean, they get that mental like, yo, and out of all players, Jimmy Butler be like, yo, you ain't beat us in 2 years, right?
Right.
You y'all can't beat us, right? You know that, right? You got guys like that. You got guys, and he likes to stick it. He likes to stick it to Thibs and all them. And you know what I'm saying? So you got guys that probably saying that we got to get over the mental hump over this team because we have played close games to the Miami Heat. I think for the most part, I think out of all the games we faced, I think maybe one or two, maybe were blowouts. Mm-hmm. I can't really fully remember, but we played these games to pretty much the last possession, the last minute. It is unfortunate because I really thought D Rose tonight would have helped us if we had a big lead, keep it, or at least if it got back down. If they made a big run, if they were supposed to cut it to 5, he'll bring it back to 7 or something like that. You know what I mean? That's what I was really hoping for tonight. But yeah, you got to get over the mental, man. You got to get over the mental, and I think the way Julius is playing right now, he's in a good space. Let's keep him at that space. I think that's a important thing too. Another key is that keep Julius to where he's playing right now, and hopefully RJ has him. RJ's gonna be rusty, and it doesn't help that he has to guard Jimmy Butler, and and maybe help on Ben Adebayo and all these other guys on Chase Tyler Hero around a little bit. And it's gonna be tough for him because he's got to get his win back. So we just got to play. We got to get over the mental hump on beating this team, and then we got Julius Randle continue what he's doing, and then that last couple of minutes, that crunch time. We got to stop making these mistakes, Sim. Yeah. Like we have been just. Sim. I really, and it sucks to say this, and it might be tough because it's like we say this every year about the Knicks team, but I really can't remember a Knicks team over the last 20 years that gave up these many leads, these many 20-point leads.
Yeah,
I just don't remember, and
that's tough.
That's hard to do. So you know what my teacher said one time in high school? He was like, because one of my classmates, cool guy, he got an F, like an F minus. You know what my teacher said? He said, it is hard to do what he just did. It's hard to get an F minus in this class.
Right.
He did it. So,
you talk about you or you talk about your friend?
No, hold on.
You talk about you or you talk about your friend?
No.
I know people like you do. Yeah, my friend. Uh-huh.
First of all, no. First of all, shout out to Mr. Ardito, my social study teacher. Really great guy, by the way. Forgot him on Facebook. That's my guy.
What's his name?
Mr. Ardito.
Mr. Ardito, call in and let me know if it was Isaiah. I know the truth.
No. First of all, no. I had good grades in school. First of all, I never got an F. Mm-hmm. My father and mother would have whooped my ass if I got an F. So I ain't get no F.
Right.
But
so they gave you a D minus, a gentleman's F. Gentleman's F.
Oh, the gentleman.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, but we'll see tonight. Like I said, I think Julius Randle got to play good like he's been doing. Got to get over that mental hump of Miami. Is it in Miami or the Garden?
It's at home. It's at the Garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
So look, it's crazy. We've been playing good for the first 24 minutes.
Maybe, yeah.
If basketball was 24 minutes, the Knicks would be the number 1 seed.
Right.
The Knicks would be the number 1 seed in 24 minutes. But
yeah, no doubt.
Like man, I'll say this too, Sim. I think Kemba not playing helps the third quarter a little bit. I think teams can't just pick and roll Alec Burks to death. So I think that will help us around a little bit too. The third quarter, because that's what kills us every time, man. That third quarter is just like, I really don't know what I need to be a fly on the wall of what these dudes do during the third quarter, during the halftime. Cause it's like they just forget all the good stuff they did.
All the good, yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you're checking out the Game Day pregame show. Please make sure you check out thegameday.com. There's a link in the description of this video. All right, so that you can check out all the odds from all your different betting platforms from across everywhere. That is, anyone that's important to you in betting, it's on thegameday.com. So make sure you go check them out. Now let's check out the Thrive Fantasy player to watch tonight, and that's Mitchell Robinson. All right, the over-under for Mitchell Robinson is 12.5 rebounds tonight against the Miami Heat. Does he get that? You tell me. Does he get that? 12.5 rebounds. Does he get it?
I'm going to go over.
All right, what's your number?
15.
Listen, if Mitchell Robinson gets 15 rebounds tonight, I'm going to need 7 of them to be offensive rebounds.
I'll go with 6 or 7. I do that. 6 or 7.
You know, and the Knicks are going to need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are.
ain't no doubt about it. They're going to need it, and they're going to need some, a couple of, a big putback dunks from Mitchell Robinson, man.
Also, Sam, I don't need what's name to be lazy too,
Who?
because that's what happened last game. Randall, when they faced the Heat, he left
PJ Tucker open.
Oh
times,
my
right?
God, Sim! They let this Joker get 20 points, and I think in the first half,
yeah,
they let PJ Tucker get 20 points.
He was cooking. We'll see it. We'll see how the Knicks, how they adjust to Miami. I'm sure they looked at tape, see how they adjust to what the Miami Heat likes to do. The Knicks were in a really, really, really bad place then. I'm not saying that they're in a better place now, but they're playing better now, right?
Was that big losing streak when we did that?
It might have been in the middle of that. I mean, the Knicks are in a place now where I think they feel good about how they're playing. They just know that it's tough, right? They're playing good enough to get a 28-point lead, but bad enough to lose a 28-point lead. So
that's unbelievable.
Where does that put you? You know what I mean? Where does that really put you? Good enough to gain a 20-point lead and bad enough to lose a 20-point lead. I'm not sure where that puts you.
I mean, Sim, as a coach, you have to clearly be positive.
It's hard though, because it's hard to be positive because, like I said, you played well, but you also played bad within the same game. First half, you played great. Second half, you got to play terrible, like just terrible to lose a 28-point lead. Just terrible. But you got to play great to gain a 28-point lead.
It doesn't make sense, man. It don't make sense, but we're going to see.
It's I don't know. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I expected the Nets to make a run. I expected them to get it to 15. I really did, because that's the NBA. It's going to happen. Yeah. Teams are going to have played with some pride, but wow, you didn't get all the way back? It's crazy.
But
anyway.
Like, Sim, I know it's water under the bridge, but like you said, Sim, I expected it too. Like, I can't front. Like, I thought when they were coming out, they were going to play better, which clearly they did. But man, for you to let Cam Thomas and them jokers do what they did, man, that was just crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, Mitchell Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, he's the player to watch tonight. Over or under 12.5 rebounds. I'm going to say under, but I think he's going to grab 10 or 12 rebounds still.
Well, I think, if his father was continuing to be missing, first of all, I don't think he would have played.
Yeah,
but if he did play, I would have said probably not. I think he probably would have had a terrible game, because I know my mind wouldn't be on basketball. Yeah. But I think he's feeling good. His father's found. I think he's gonna have a good game tonight.
Yeah. I'm looking in the chat. People are saying under 12.5 rebounds. 58% say under. 59% say under. 41% say over.
So we gonna win that. We gotta win that money, baby. We gotta get that money.
Yeah. Let me see on Thrive Fantasy. Let's see who else they have for the Knicks. They also got Julius Randle, over or under 5.5 assists. I'm going with the over on that. I definitely think he gets over 5.5 assists tonight.
Who, Randle?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think he gets over 5.5 assists, and then Jimmy Butler, over or under 21.5 points tonight.
See,
I'm gonna say under, and I'm not even saying it as a bad thing. I think against the Knicks and the way that this team is set up, and the way the matchups look, I think Jimmy Butler is going to be a little bit more of a facilitator and let other people do the work. So I'm going to say under 21 points, but he probably has 7 or 8 or 9 assists. Almost a triple double for Jimmy Butler. I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm with you. I'm gonna say he goes 19, 7 or 8.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that is what I got for Jimmy Butler.
But see, only thing is though, Sam, sometimes he likes to just stick it to Tom Thibodeau. He likes to just stick it to Tom Thibodeau.
I mean, he does, but he can stick it to him with a win. Well, I mean, a triple-double is going to stick it to him.
Yeah, that's true.
When you almost get a triple-double, that's going to stick it to him.
Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah, that's what I'm expecting tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what else I got for you. I don't know what else I got for you.
Hey, man, listen, he getting back. He getting a little. It's all right, man.
We're getting back. We're getting back into business, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is the Game Day pregame show. All right. For all of your most up-to-date sports content and betting odds, make sure you go to thegameday.com where you can find out betting odds from all of your favorite betting sites and platforms. All right, you see the projected starting lineups on the screen. Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, either R.J. Barrett or Quentin Grimes for the Knicks. Julius Randle, that power forward. Mitchell Robinson at center. For the Miami Heat, Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, P.J. Tucker, and Bam Adebayo. All right.
Hey, so I wanted to throw something at you.
Yeah.
Before we go. And then maybe this would be a little topic everybody can talk about, chime in. If you're the front office, right? I want to word this correctly. If you're the front office, do you pull a trigger on a Derrick Rose trade to maybe get a first round pick? Because I truly still believe you can get a first for Derrick Rose.
I don't think you're getting a first. I don't know if you're getting a first. We got him from Detroit for
a second
round pick, and what's his name?
What else we get?
I can't even think.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Dennis Smith Jr.
Oh, Lord, look at that! Look at that!
I don't think you're getting a first round pick for him a lot, because of his injury history, and Tom Thibodeau wants him around. I don't think they're doing that.
Well, I say that
the only place that Derrick Rose is going besides New York, in my opinion, is going to be Chicago. He's not going anyplace else.
Sure. I will say this though.
They could use him there.
They could.
They could use him.
I think they would give up a first, or maybe Ayo.
I don't know what they would. Maybe they would give up a first. Just like, hey, we're going to bring him home. He fits into what they're doing there. And I mean, obviously they wouldn't do it this season, but.
Listen, do you think the Knicks? Do you think the Bulls would give up Ayo? Desuma, how you say his name?
Nope.
I forgot his name.
Nope, I don't.
That kid's balling.
I don't think so. They were not for Derrick Rose.
That kid is balling too.
I mean, and I'm not saying that to hate on Derrick Rose, but he's older, and no, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. But anyway, quickly, keys to the game: come in with a focused mentality, communication, rotations on D. This team can shoot, they can pass. Got to rebound the basketball. We don't shoot well from the field. We got to grab offensive rebounds. Take care of the ball. Miami Heat, they like to get a lot of deflections. The Knicks got to take care of the basketball. Don't turn it over. Don't let these guys get out on the break and score. Still play with pace. The last time we played them, we were playing a slow basketball game. Maybe we, change some, maybe it looks a little bit different this time if we play with some pace. Then late game execution, ladies and gentlemen. If we get to that late game stage, we got to execute. If we do these things, Isaiah, what's your prediction for tonight?
If we do all these things, Sam?
If we do these things,
if we do these things,
win? Do the Knicks get a win?
You know what? If the Knicks, I watched the show last night with you and Tony was right. If the Knicks want to make a push, you have to win one of these games. You have to. So, you know what, Sim? None of the Knicks were in the All-Star game. None of the Knicks did any of the activities. They should be well rested. I'm going to go 101, 100 Knicks.
101, 100. Woo. I'm jumping out on a limb, too. I'm going with the Knicks. I'm going with the Knicks tonight. You know what I mean? I think whether or not they are successfully able to make a push, I think emotionally they're going to come back into the game feeling right and feeling like this is it. So I think they're going to come out and give the Miami Heat their best shot. The problem here is that if they give the Miami Heat their best shot and they lose, they might be in trouble. They're already in trouble. They might be done. They might be done because they're going to feel like, man, we gave it our best shot. We still came up short.
But
and then you're looking at Philadelphia, and Phoenix. So I think the Knicks are going to win tonight.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you, Sam. The Knicks, the Knicks cannot afford to go up big and lose. Go up big and lose.
Yeah, that's true.
They can't do it because Sam. I think because I'm not gonna lie, going out the All-Star break, how they did against the Nets, that left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. I mean, Sam, they were just ripping Thibodeau and the Knicks everywhere.
Yeah.
After that Nets win, I don't think you can do that again. So. I think the Knicks, I think between Mitch clearing his head, hopefully Thibs cleared his head, everybody cleared their heads. I think the Knicks can do it, man.
I think they can be coming in with a refreshed mentality. And I see people in the chat calling us homers and this and that. Look, we know the team. We know, listen, just because we're predicting a win, just saying.
I thought I was Mr. Negative. First of all, I thought I was Mr. Negative. I thought I was the one that wanted the Knicks to lose. Hey, and also said, look, I know you're not gonna say it. I know you won't say it because you're the nice guy. I'm gonna say, stop talking crazy, y'all. Somebody be talking crazy, man.
Man, I'm not worried about these.
No. The
people that was probably talking wild and saying delusional and all this wild stuff are probably not even listening right now.
Yeah, they not. They're
probably not even listening. I ain't even gonna waste my breath on them. I'm gonna waste my breath on them. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I got to get to basketball practice. The game is at 7:30 tonight, and I will see you about 10:15 for post-game show. We appreciate your time, and yeah, we are out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
Peace out.
Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.